Interesting. Okay, welcome to Black Box Trading. I'm your host, JT, and here on the channel, we take a look at Bitcoin fundamental and technical analysis. Usually a lot of technicals, but in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about fundamentals. Why are we talking about fundamentals? Because the market is so bearish. The market is so incredibly bearish. Part of that has to do with the fact that, this has been a tough market. It's been a tough market for specifically the altcoin traders. And this is due to meme coins. Meme coins have been the dominant narrative. The problem with a meme is it literally has no value. So when something has no value, it's very easy to let go of those positions. People, accept the fact that they've been rugged, they move on, and they just move on to different things. So it's very paper-handed. It's very paper-handed market currently. So as a result of portfolios being down plus 90%, of course, you're going to get that sentiment. Of course, you're going to get that narrative developing that we're already in a bear market. I'm going to remind the market that the bull market is dictated by Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is in a bull market, the market is in a bull market. Now, the volatility of alts has been very hard to hold on to. And, I understand if people don't want to, I understand when people say that they're in a bear market because alts have been in a bear market. But the market cycle isn't over. And I'm going to show you some on-chain fundamental metrics that can explain my thought on that. And I'm also going to pair that up with technicals as well as sentiment. Sentiment is really important. It's a guiding force. It's a guiding light for interpreting bias and decision making inside of the market. So we'll take a look at all three of those things to determine where are we in the market cycle. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. And we're going to start things off with the power law. So power law, got to get caffeinated for this one. Good morning if it's morning to you. Good evening if it's evening. Basically, the power law is saying that, we're still in the accumulation zone as far as power law is concerned. So power law is really simple. It's a band made up of a green band and a red band. And there's also kind of this floor line, this purple floor line that kind of indicates when it's most valued. So if you can ever buy below that purple line, that's going to be your best bet. But you can totally accumulate anywhere in the green. So as far as the power law is concerned, we haven't even broken out of the green band yet. We briefly got above it and we got rejected back inside of it. And we're now back inside of the green band. So technically you're still in accumulation zone. The extended target here for the top of the band is $390,000. So plenty of upside room yet to go. That's still a 300% move from here. So as far as the power law is concerned, we got plenty upside left. Now, we also did not reach the top in the prior cycle. So let's say, we have a diminishing return on the power law. I think that this cycle honestly wasn't an anomaly, and that's not just cope. This was a very futures-driven market. Both of the prior cycles were spot-driven markets, meaning that most of the demand went to holding the spot asset. And this was a very, very derivative-driven market. Take that with what you will, but it means that there was much more paper Bitcoin out there than any of the prior cycles. And now with the ETFs, they're forced to hold spot. I think that we can get a cycle similar to what we saw in the prior cycle. We're actually tracking quite closely to the 2017 cycle. Not saying that we get the exact price performance of 2017, but structurally speaking, it's following a lot closer to the 2017 cycle than it was the 2020, 2021 cycle. But I digress. Let's say that we don't get up to those levels. We're still kind of, we got to at least get to 200K, in my opinion, at least 200. for the price of Bitcoin would be conservative. Now, another thing that we can take a look at is miner profitability. So this one's kind of an important one for me. This is called the Puel multiple. So the Puel multiple is basically it's tracking the miner profitability of the average earnings in dollars of a mining of miners based off of a 365 moving average. So that's a 1-year moving average. And generally speaking, when you have these spikes in miner profitability, meaning the value of Bitcoin has gone up too high too fast, and it's very, very profitable to be a miner, usually at least 4 times the yearly average is where you should be concerned about a peak. There's this red band here between 4 and 6. So anywhere from 4 to 6 times the average for the yearly average for miner profitability is kind of where you're going to see that sign on chain that there's just too much valuation happening too quickly, aka a mania is taking place. That's one thing that you really want to look out for is, are we in a mania? And we'll circle back to sentiment later, but yeah, look, we're basically in the accumulation zone as far as miner profitability. There's nothing noteworthy here whatsoever. Even if you want to say that, we're in a downtrend based off of prior cycle, again, that was not a spot driven market. That was a derivatives driven market. But even if you wanted to take that data point into account, we still didn't even reach that. And this market cycle is definitely fundamentally a lot stronger than this one, because this was a speculative one. This was driven by, fake accounts and fake exchanges and stimulus checks. There's not a lot of fundamentals to back this cycle. However, this cycle, we have nation state adoption, we have institutional adoption. They're all buying spot Bitcoin. So it's a very different market cycle, in my opinion. It's much more akin to what we saw in prior cycles. And we're just way too low. The miners aren't going to be unloading at heavy prices because they haven't experienced that euphoria. They haven't experienced that mania phase just yet. Another thing that we can take a look at is actually some on-chain analytics on a different site, not on TradingView. And that's the MVRV. So this is the ratio between Bitcoin's market cap and Bitcoin's realized cap. I'm not going to get too into the weeds there, but basically what this is trying to show you is when long-term holders begin to sell. That's, in my opinion, one of the biggest contributors to a market cycle top coming in is the whales are selling. The whales that were accumulating during the bear market when nobody cared about Bitcoin, who were stacking huge positions when nobody cared about Bitcoin, those are the individuals that you really want to pay attention to. And when they start selling, pay attention. And they haven't started selling. We're still in an uptrend, trending up towards the sell zone of the NVRV. So another on-chain metrics to tell you, whales aren't selling. The sentiment that you are experiencing in the market right now is retail-driven sentiment. 95% of traders lose money, and if they're trading meme coins, 99% of traders lose money. They are going to bring their negativity into the market. They are going to bring the negativity into Twitter and YouTube, and all of the influencers are getting wrecked and they're spreading FUD. Just don't listen to these poor losers that fucked up their accounts. These are stupid people. Don't listen to stupid people. If you want to be poor, listen to poor people. If you want to be rich, listen to rich people. Listen to the smart people in the market. Follow smart money. Don't follow dumb money. And Twitter is all dumb money. So just realize that, we're still in a bull market. We're still in a Bitcoin bull market. And I do believe there will be a rotation into alts, but it hasn't happened yet. It's been popcorn season. It's been predatory market insider trading season. It hasn't been altcoin season. And I've been extremely vocal on that for months, years. I've been vocal on that for years. All right, let's quickly catch up on the chat before I move on. OMB at 0.03. Word on the streets is big things coming over the next couple weeks. I have my sources. Oh, that's some credible material right there. I like it. Word on the street is we're A-okay. Yeah, aloha kahuna, Marcos, welcome in. J4K World, seeing you. I don't know if I lost you because I actually started streaming to not my scheduled stream. I just streamed to some random stream. Right on. Okay. So when do you think it will start popping? In this year being like 2017, is this year being like 2017 true or cope? It's a very good question. It's a very good question. Now, the markets, let's just take a look here. Let me create a backdrop, a display. Now, we don't need to worry about the supply side of the trade, right? The supply side of the trade is there's no fucking Bitcoin. There's really no Bitcoin out there. It has not been this hard to actually get large amounts of Bitcoin for years and years and years. Let's back that up with exchange holdings. Let's go to dashboard, on-chain metrics, exchange flows, exchange transactions, proof of reserves, entity balances. Where is it? Where is it? Exchange holdings. Man, they keep changing the names on this stuff and it's confusing me. I'm not on here every day. Proof of reserves. I definitely don't have that. Supply on exchanges is what it used to be called. Stable coins. Percent balance on exchanges. Let's give that a shot. Okay, they don't have I'm not paying for the advanced pan. But we're at 2017 levels of the amount of Bitcoin available for purchase on an exchange. So the OTC markets are drying up. The exchanges are drying up. We're seeing levels less than 2017. So we've already had a whole cycle where the available exchange, the available Bitcoin for purchase was higher than the entire last cycle. And now it's below that. I hope I'm making sense. So the supply side of the trade is taken care of. Now it's about the demand side of the trade. What is smart money doing? Smart money is quietly buying. They are buying in the background. They are accumulating. We have sovereign wealth funds. We have nation states. And the reason that you're not seeing it in the price is because they're not buying from an exchange. They are not buying from an exchange. They are buying OTC, over the counter, which means it does not hit an order book. So those deals are not made public. If we don't know how much somebody paid for something, we don't know what the price is, because price is the last price paid. People think that, money in equals number go up. No, it is not. Number go up is determined by an order book. It is determined by the last price paid. So if you keep the last price paid a secret, the price doesn't move. All right. So institutions are buying. We have a lot of demand coming in. And the only way that they are able to do this, the only way that they are able to secretly make these deals that are not public, is with the OTC market. The OTC market is going to dry up. It is going to dry up, and it is going to dry up at the same time that nation state FOMO and ETF FOMO and public mania is going to take place, and price is going to skyrocket. I've got a target here, which is a crosshair of time-based target and the top of the first cycle, and that brings us at around $600,000 per coin, and we've got several weeks to achieve that goal. Is it cope? No, it's interpreting historical performance to determine if to come up with a plan for probabilities and possibilities. That's all TA is. Um, we'll talk about downside too. If we do need to protect positions and we head to lower levels, what actions do you need to take, and at what prices do you take those actions? But yeah, we got like 100 days left in this bull market, in my opinion, and a lot can change in 100 days. 80% of Bitcoin's price movements per cycle happen during 20 days. Not 20 days in a row, but the biggest moves in Bitcoin, when spread over a 4-year cycle, the biggest moves happen over 20 days, 20 different days throughout that cycle, and they account for 80% of the total price appreciation for Bitcoin. You don't need that many days to see some insane numbers come in Bitcoin. When Bitcoin moves, it fucking moves. Okay, so don't forget that Bitcoin can move. So we've got plenty of time left for these price targets to be achieved. Where was I as far as the the HODL ratio? Do we want to take a look at the HODL ratio? This is great. I heard because the Fed wasn't printing money and the interest rates being up. Yeah, there's some fundamental factors with money printing. I mean, money printer go burr is how we make the most money. But Donald Trump's going to really shake things up, whether it's for good or bad. He's going to shake things up. So here's the HODL ratio. This is, if I believe, it's using. Yeah, so this is the age of UTXOs. So it's basically determining long-term holder ratio. So the long-term holders typically need to get into the red for you to see a lot of the long-term holders selling. Now, this data point for me is a little bit justified because 100K is a huge psychological level. If you have diehard long-term holders, I mean people from 2013 cycles where they were buying Bitcoin for under $100, and then all of a sudden it's at $100,000, they're going to sell. They might also believe that it can go to $1 million, but I mean, if you've been holding that long, you got some long-term holders that are going to be taking profits. 100K is a big deal. It's a big psychological number. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that some of these diehard OG Bitcoiners are taking some profits. They do exist out there, and they are mega whales. So the mega whales can really make things. They can have an effect in the market here. So 100K, not surprising to see some of this profit taking. Let's go over to Willy Woo's top indicator. So we're in no man's land as far as his indicator is concerned. So typically speaking, it gets above this cycle. Again, this cycle didn't do it. We've already discussed why I think that is. You can interpret that as me coping, but I do feel that this market definitely has more spot volume than the prior cycle. So if we get up to Willy Woo's price target, it's $470,000 top. So definitely over 200, in my opinion. Definitely over a $200,000 Bitcoin, in my opinion. And from there, it's just a matter of how liquid Bitcoin is in the face of extreme demand. And the extreme demand is going to have a very powerful effect because the supply is so low. When there's no Bitcoin to buy, you have no choice but to offer more for it. So that's how you get the multiplier effect. I think right now the multiplier effect of Bitcoin, it depends how you look at it, but I've heard it be anywhere from 3 to 18 times, meaning that for every dollar, it has either a 3 to 18 time and a $3 to $18 effect on price. And you put that in the face of decreasing supply and increasing demand, like FOMO demand, mania demand. it's anybody's guess. It's 200 to fucking 2 million. It's a huge range as to where we could end up at that point. So now let's kind of switch gears into sentiment. So sentiment, let's actually get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. Turn log off. And we'll turn alphanumerics on. Okay, so sentiment is an important driver as well. Okay. Sentiment right now is very, very low. When we came up to 100K, you know, people were calling for a breakout, of course. And then when we got rejected from 100K, people were calling for, you know, buy the dip, we're going to break out. But now everybody's thinking that the bull market is over. I can tell you from experience that the bull market is not over from a sentiment point of view, because we would be calling for buy the dip. We've done like no correction. This has not really corrected at all. And people are already calling a bear market. We have corrected 16%. We've corrected 16%, and people are calling it a bear market. Let me tell you, we will correct 30, 40% in the actual bear market, and people will still be calling buy the dip. The sentiment is too bearish. I think there's sidelined money. I think there's wrecked accounts. And I think that, you know, a lot of Bitcoiners are being made right now because of the fact that the altcoins have hurt people so severely. So that's further chewing up the supply of Bitcoin. When the actual market cycle comes in, like back here, when this market cycle came in, nobody was calling a bear market. Nobody was calling a bear market even all the way down here. Nobody was calling a bear market after a freaking 50% correction, let alone a 16% correction. But they were calling a bear market here. They were calling a bear market here. This was DeFi summer. I don't know if anybody remembers DeFi summer, but DeFi summer had a 20% correction. The market was over. It was over. People were done. It was finished, game over. DeFi summer killed the market. We're not coming back. And that was a 20% correction. And then look what happened right after it. The bull market actually began. I think we're in a similar scenario today. I think that, you know, let's say we get a 20% correction, it'll be game over. It'll be, you know, the red winter of crypto, and then boom, V-shaped recovery, go into acceleration phase, go into stupid numbers that are incomprehensible for most people. So we talked a little on chain, we talked a little technical, we talked a little sentiment. Let's kind of get into the normal swing of things here. Let's catch up with the chat. As long as Bitcoin dominance stays high, it's a good strategy to keep DCAing into alts. We are already in DOT, Atom, Illuvium, Gala, FET AI. So, Vinny, for me, no. For me, no. I don't DCA into garbage. I don't dollar cost average into something that is a speculative play that doesn't have long-term ability to stay around. What I do is I wait for Bitcoin dominance to correct. There's no rush. If you're in Bitcoin, you're making money. If you're in Bitcoin, you're making money. Why are you trying to front run something that's going down? When you dollar cost average into these shit coins, you're just averaging your price down. It's still falling in price. Let's take a look at which one did you DOT. Let's see, DOT USD. Why would you DCA into this? The only place that you would DCA, don't just blindly DCA, okay? Don't just, oh, at the beginning of each month or at the end of each month, I'm going to buy this, 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 and this, and I'm going to put this much money into it. Don't do that with an alt. Do that with Bitcoin, but do not do that with an alt. But what you can do is, let's say every time we come into this green box, you can deploy some capital into a DCA. Not above it, just in it. As soon as you get into this range. So, for Polkadot, sure. If you were looking at DCA, now is as good a time as any to DCA because it's come down to the floor. But the other thing that just don't DCA. Don't DCA, because DCA is just blindly accumulating an asset that's underperforming in the market and losing you purchasing power. When we take a look at DOT on the Bitcoin comparative, which is what you should be doing with an altcoin, look, you're losing purchasing power. This chart is going down. So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means by you holding Bitcoin, when you are ready to rotate that Bitcoin, which is making money, by the way, when you're ready to rotate that Bitcoin into Polkadot, you will have the ability to buy more Polkadot than you would have if you were looking at the dollar pair. There's no reason to be accumulating altcoins until Bitcoin dominance starts to fall and these Bitcoin denominated charts begin to break out. Because you're in an asset that's making you money. That's the whole point of trading, right? You want to make money. You're in an asset that's making you money. It's called Bitcoin. And when this chart begins to break out, let's say you started DCAing back in 2022. So Bitcoin needs to rally up 500%. Bitcoin needs to rally 500% for you to break even on the beginning of your DCA. Or you just hold Bitcoin, wait for the rotation to take place. You can buy more Polkadot than you ever planned being able to buy, and you get to profit the entire time. You profit in Bitcoin. You pay for, again, like you can become a participant way before. You become a participant way before a 500% rally. You become a participant down here at like a 200% rally. The point I'm trying to make is you can pay for a lot of confirmation, because what a lot of people are doing is they're DCAing way too early. They're getting into this stuff way too early, and they're losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. Or you just wait. You wait for the actual rotation to take place, then you rotate. And now you bought more than any of the Polkadot bulls out there. You're buying more, and you've been winning the whole time because you're in an asset that's doing well, and now you've rotated into Polkadot at the right time. DOT is a dead project. Fundamentally, I mean, who cares? Who cares? If people buy it, who cares? Everything's a dead project. Everything's dead in the water if you build a product that doesn't use Bitcoin as the currency. They're all dead projects. Thanks, man. Man, thank you for that explanation. That helps a ton. Yeah, I just don't DCA. Wait for the action to happen. So in Wyckoff, we also call that a sign of strength. So in Wyckoff, you kind of pay for confirmation as well. I'll give you another example using the dollar pair. So in a Wyckoff trading range, let's just draw the trading range here. You would be looking at something like this. So basically, you allow Polkadot to do what's called a sign of strength. So we have a range here. We go to the top of the range, we go to the bottom of the range, we go to the top of the range again, we get rejected, we go to the bottom of the range again, we reverse to the upside, we're range bound. Only at the point at which we actually make a new high in this accumulation is it considered a sign of strength. Sign of strength. Okay. When you have a sign of strength, that's your signal. Start paying attention. Start paying attention. When you see a sign of strength, Now you're going to be like, okay, we have something here. Something has happened. Some fundamental is lining up. Some news event has come out for Polkadot. Something's happening in the market and people are bidding it up again. Now I need to determine what's going on there. And your best course of action is to identify that and then go to .btc. And then identify, are we making new highs? Did we take out this high? Did we take out this high? If this chart starts to begin an uptrend, you just buy. If it's in an uptrend, you just buy. Don't get fancy with it. You're moving from one asset that's been working to another asset that's now starting to work. So who cares about entries? Don't nail the entries. You're trying to do a swing trade. You're trying to do a timed investment. So just buy. But you're leaving out the fact that if you DCA, you don't have to worry about timing the market. You don't have to worry about timing the market. You have 500%. You have a 500% rally of confirmation before you break even on the beginning of your DCA. You need to, that's timing the market. You can time the market. Timing the market is easy. People get greedy, or they think that they can't see some sort of character change in the chart. If you can't notice a 500% rally in Polkadot, then yeah, you should probably just DCA. Where's the bull run, bro? Bull run is right around the corner, in my opinion. Right around the corner. Now, my interpretation of right around the corner is, I don't know, maybe next month. Maybe next month. This is a choppy range. This is an ugly range, to be perfectly honest with you. So, as far as right now, we're bullish. Right now, we're bullish. If we fall below 90,000, we're not bullish anymore. I'm bullish on the cycle. The cycle's not over. But as far as me managing my positions, I'm going to have to sell some of the position if we go below 90. If we go below 90, I'll be taking a risk-off approach to the market. And if we rally off of 90 from there, I have a plan to buy back in as well. I know where I will be a buyer again. So I'm never going to miss the bull market, and I'm never going to be trapped in a bear market. If you guys want access to that information so that you are never missing a bull market and you are never trapped in a bear market, then join the community. There's the QR code popping up on the screen right now. When you get in, it's 100% free. It's 100% free. All that we ask is that you sign up with one of our partners. Currently, our partners are BitGet, Blowfin, and Bybit. Bybit is not hooked up to the bots yet, but BitGet and Blowfin are hooked up to our live trading bots. And sign up with one of those. You don't have to worry about a deposit or anything like that. Again, there's no upfront cost to you. But just show us that you made an account. Share with us your UID. That's your user identification number of the exchange that you signed up on. Boom, you're in the group. Free signals, free trading courses, free resources, free mentorship, free trading bots. In my opinion, it's one of the best deals out there, but obviously I'm biased for that. So join the Discord, come hang out, come say hi. XRP. Oh God, do I hate that coin. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Bank Simp coin.
Oh yes, Mr. Banker. I love you. I love you, Mr. Banker. Pump my bags, Mr. Banker.
Sorry, I got a real hate on for XRP. In my view, it's the antithesis of Bitcoin. But I'm a trader. Don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it, my friends. XRP. Let's do USD first. XRP USD. Where's a longer chart? Binance. There we go. Is XRP still the standard? First of all, standard of what? And second of all, still what? It's not the standard of anything. It's a scam. It's a bunch of Ripple executives dumping on you every month. That's all it is. With a very brief moments in time where you can speculate and make some money, but you end up losing a lot waiting around for it. Quick one. Recall the X graph system you've talked about in the Wyckoff trading in the past, not a time-based. Yes. So, where is that going? Poorly described. So you're talking about point and figure. We'll take a look at point and figure. XRP is in a bull flag. It's in a bull flag at the beginning of altcoin rotation. It seems to be a leading asset in this bull market, which is good. You know, the XRP tards need a little relief every once in a while. But yeah, this is going to perform well. This is going to perform well. XRP, BTC. It's just a matter of when and for how long. So let's go over to the Bitcoin chart because I think that paints a much clearer picture. So remember, we were talking about that Wyckoff accumulation. We still need a sign of strength in XRP. This is super hard for people to wrap their head around. So this kind of ties into the whole don't DCA into altcoin discussion, because if you were buying XRP in the prior cycle and you were dollar cost averaging all the way down to September of the prior cycle didn't actually have an XRP bull run. That's wild. It didn't even run last cycle. Okay, 2017 cycle. You're DCAing all the way into September of 2019. If you were DCAing all through that bull market and all through that bear market to the point of September 2019, the hardest thing for people to wrap their head around is the fact that you are now break even. Even though XRP is up hundreds of percent, you've actually just broken even in terms of Bitcoin, which means you have, if you were holding Bitcoin, you could have waited this whole time. You could have waited this whole time and you could have made money this whole time while waiting for confirmation, paying for confirmation. And it's rallied hundreds of percent. So you're never going to miss it is kind of the point I'm trying to make. You're never going to miss the rotation. When we have a sign of strength here, you know, yes, XRP will get all the market all fucking hot and bothered and sticky in their pants because of the exponential gains. But the problem is most of the XRP diehards have been holding XRP for years. They've been holding XRP for years and they've lost so much opportunity cost to Bitcoin that even though they rallied, 5, 6, 700%, they're still at break even in terms of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin affords you time to make decisions. You don't need to make rational decisions. You don't need to be quick on the trigger with anything. If you're holding Bitcoin, you can be damn sure that we have a sign of strength, that we have a backup on a range, and that we're rallying out to become a participant. You can make money the whole time doing that. Whereas most of the XRP community has not been making money. They've been sitting and waiting. And it's been hard. It's hard mentally to have to go through that. Bitcoin is, volatile enough, and it's way easier than trying to hold XRP or a lot of these other alts, because a lot of alts look like this. But yeah, sign of strength. That's what you're waiting for. Waiting for a sign of strength, break out of this range, a retest, and a rally. The buyers who buy here are going to get the fastest results. You're going to get the fastest portfolio growth out of anybody. And you will have not needed to wait, 1,600 days for it. during this entire accumulation. An accumulation that took place during the prior bull market too. That's wild. Altcoin season is coming. The bull market will continue. Altcoin season is coming. Take a look at Deep token. All right, well, it's coming. It's not here. I'll take a look at it on CoinGecko first. Deep. Did you guys get your ass coin? See, if you stake your ass coin, you can get wrapped poo. And then you can put that into the tendies multiplier. That's a really good strategy. Deep book, is this what we're looking at? Deep book. The backbone of SUI DeFi liquidity. So what was last cycle's project that did this? What was that? Oh God, what was that called? I was bullish on that one. So this is the thing about, so A, this looks good. Okay, good pick. It's a good pick. It's not going to be around next cycle. It's going to have its altcoin season and it's going to die and never come back. Okay, so wrap your head around that. This will not exist. This will not be an investment for more than the next 90 days. Okay, so get your head around that. Because every cycle has the exact same ideas replicated every cycle. So Deep Book, this was exactly the same as this FTX project that I'm drawing a blank on right now. That was, the plumbing for DeFi liquidity on Solana. And it's driving me nuts that I can't remember what it's called. Let me try and find it. FTX coin. How do I find it? God, what was it called? I was so bullish on it. See, this is what I mean. Like, new cycle, new coins, man. I don't even remember what it was called. I'm not even going to try and remember. But this existed last cycle on Solana. It was a cool project. It might be a little too fundamental for the current cohort of individuals. A lot of people, who knows, maybe enough people have gotten wrecked that they're going to look for smarter investments now. But yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at the technicals here on Deep. Relatively new. Relatively new. You know what's better than looking at Deep? Let's just look at SUI. I'm not a fan, particularly, of purchasing tokens on other chains. I would rather just buy the gas token. If Deep is to be successful, SUI will be successful. The chances of Deep being successful are less than the chances of SUI being successful. How much risk do you really need to take? SUI can rally hundreds of percent. Hundreds of percent. Don't fall into the trap of, getting too into the weeds of these ecosystems. If the ecosystem is doing well, the native token for that ecosystem is all the gains that you need. SUI BTC. Yeah, we're looking at this kind of cup and handle. I want to see a reclaim here on SUI. And that will probably correlate with deep doing well. Deep is too new. It's too new. So, if you didn't buy deep because it's so new, you really can't buy deep until it comes back down here. So if you bought down here, great. If you didn't buy down there, you need to kind of wait for it to come down there, or you wait for new structure to come into the market. So it's not like if it doesn't come down there, you don't buy it. It's just with this current structure, there's no real place to buy. So it needs to develop more structure, meaning create a trading range, or it just needs to correct back down to the value range. So if it corrects back down, cool, you can be a buyer. If it starts bouncing around and creates some sort of a trend, then you can also be a buyer. But don't just buy for no reason. Don't buy blindly into this market for no reason, especially not before Bitcoin dominance rotation. We need to see that rotation take place in Bitcoin dominance, and it hasn't quite happened yet. And there's no rush. There's no rush. There's never a rush. If you're in Bitcoin, you're exposed to crypto. Don't get all weird and antsy. Be like, oh, I gotta be in an altcoin. No, you don't. Yes, Brian. For the third time asking, I am now officially acknowledging your request for Caspa. Thank you for the reminder. Caspa. Last time I looked at it, I don't like it. This time, I still don't like it. I actually think if the market doesn't turn around quickly, so if Bitcoin doesn't start rallying like ASAP, this one's cooked. It's so on the edge of fucking collapse right now. And I'm not trying to freak you out or anything. We've discussed this in prior streams, and it's doing exactly what I said it was doing in those streams. I said, we kind of have this complex head and shoulders happening. And we were down here when it happened. And I said, that's the bottom, buy. I said, that's the bottom, fucking buy, live on a stream. And then I said, what's going to happen next is we're going to come up to the underside of that level. That's exactly where we are right now. And I said, be very careful at this level. So if the market doesn't start cooperating ASAP on Caspa and we curl over here, she's going into fucking Goblin Town. It's going down hard, real hard. But if the market reclaims that level and the market starts participating again and we start to go bullish, bull market continues. It's do or die for Caspa right now. So watch out for that. It's really dependent on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin needs to behave. If Bitcoin, like I said, if we find ourselves down at 90, I'm going to be closing a good, healthy portion of my trade that we entered at 18K. If we take out 90, I think we'll probably visit 80, and with the extended target down to 70. You better believe that if we head down to 70, Caspa's going to Goblin Town. And that's where it would be a good buy. But yeah, just be on high alert right now because it's doing exactly what I said it was going to do. And here we are. It's decision time. So hopefully those who are watching the live stream when Caspa was putting in its bottom, we nailed the tippy bottom. We said, that's it. Buy anything, buy. And it was Caspa that we were looking at. Get into it right now because it's going to rally up 40% to the underside. So that's, right there, 40% to the underside of that support/resistance flip. And if you did that, you're up 40%. Congratulations to those who took that advice. But yeah, it's a precarious situation that it's currently in. And it's drama that I'm glad that I don't need to deal with because I haven't rotated into alts yet. Would you call a Bitcoin bear market at 70 or below? I would call Bitcoin. So here's the thing. There's my opinions, and then there's my technical based actions, right? My opinion is we're still in a bull market. My opinion is we're going to go to at least $200,000 a coin, anywhere from 200,000 to $1 million plus this cycle. Large range, forget that for a moment. Those are my opinions. Opinions don't matter at all. Opinions are how you get yourself fucked in this market. Sorry for the potty mouth, but opinions do not matter at all. What keeps me safe from my opinion is my technical based actions. So if we take out this 90K level, my technical based action is to reduce exposure to the market significantly. 50% reduction in my swing trade position from 18K. And then I'm not a buyer until one of two things occur. I become a buyer with a weekly green diamond, which let's go to the weekly here. The weekly green diamond, which indicates the bottom of the bear market. We always get to the bottom of the bear market. I become a buyer at a weekly green diamond, or our wave flips from red back to green. So taking out that 90K level, our green wave will turn red. There is no bottom when we are red. So from a technical point of view, the moment we take out 90, I'm calling a bear market. I'm positioning as though it is a bear market. So I'm not calling it at 70, I'm calling it at 90. My opinion of the matter is that we're not in a bear market, but I don't care about my opinion. Nobody should care about my opinion. What matters is my actions. So my actions become bearish at 90K. That's when it's a bear market. And that's extreme, but this is the strategy that we follow. This is how we're able to be so successful in this market. This is how we are never going to miss never going to miss a bull market and always going to be out on a bear market. We never miss it because the technicals that we use are so definitive that we will never miss a bull market and we will never be in a bear market. So you can get chopped and changed a little bit, but that's the plan. That's the plan. And my opinions are completely separate from my plan. We also have this signal. We have this green wave, red wave signal sent to our Discord for free. So if you guys aren't in the Discord, scan the QR code, get into the Discord. Verify with a UID. So sign up with one of our partner exchanges. You don't need to make a deposit. Just sign up, get the UID, and you can get into the group. And then the other signal that we send, which is probably our best signal out there, is the green diamond. So if you guys want access to the information of the green diamond, it calls every bear market bottom. Bear market bottom, green diamond flashed. Bear market bottom, green diamond flashed. Bear market bottom, green diamond flashed. It's a 100% hit rate. It's 100%. It is designed to mark market capitulation in the context of a bear market. So it's using a lot of different things to determine what we believe is the market sentiment low, the technical low, the custom script, momentum low. And it's a 100% success rate. Now, 100% success, we only have 3 data points. So big whoop, there's totally the possibility that it, one day it's not 100% right, but it's been 100% right. So get into the Discord just for that. If that's all you want, we'll tell you when the bear market's in. That green diamond is why we were buying at 18K. That green diamond was the bottom of the bear market. So come on in and say hi. All right, where are we? I'm getting real. I'm all over the map today. Do you like XMR? I do, but I hate, I don't hate. The Monero community is really annoying. They used to be cool. They're not cool anymore. Here's the thing. Bitcoin's getting better and better. And part of Bitcoin getting better and better is more privacy. The Monero crew will tell you that Bitcoin is not fungible. They will tell you that it is not private. They will tell you it's a surveillance chain. And as it stands right now, there's two things to consider. A, they are correct in that Monero is turnkey private. You cannot do better than Monero right now. But they are also running under assumption that, Bitcoin is being surveilled by entities that are out to get you. They're not. We live in a little tiny bubble. We live in our little echo chamber, and we think that everybody is putting money into Bitcoin, putting money into chain analysis and research and trying to catch us, doing dark web transactions and evading taxes and terrorist activity. Chain analysis exists, but it's not at scale. It's not at scale, and there's just nobody coming after you. You can use Bitcoin today privately enough. Bitcoin today is more than fungible. More than fungible. And that's Bitcoin today. Bitcoin in the future will be 100% private. It will be 100% fungible because more and more users are going to stop using the base layer and they're going to start using secondary layers like Lightning. They're going to use Liquid. They're going to use Arc. We're going to have a whole infrastructure built on top of the Bitcoin settlement layer. The settlement layer will be transparent, which I actually believe is a good thing. If you're paying taxes to a government, wouldn't it be nice to know where your tax dollars went? You could literally follow your tax dollars. You could follow your tax dollars and see where your tax dollars went to go, support the government. I think that's kind of nice. I think a little bit of transparency is a good thing. And then for the user, you are also given apps that keep you 100% private. And if you are 100% private, it is 100% fungible. So Monero's cool. But I think it's slowly losing. It's slowly losing to Bitcoin. That's my opinion. And when you look at the Bitcoin chart, it's not so slow, really. But fundamentally speaking, I feel as though it's slowly losing against Bitcoin. But it's a very established downtrend from a technical and price perspective. XMR USD. But if you need a private transaction today and you want to be 100% sure that today your transaction is private, use Monero. Use Monero. I'm not going to make that argument because it's not a sound argument. Monero has privacy today, 100%, without a doubt. We actually made the call here when Binance delisted. We said buy Monero. That was a long-term hold. We said it was going to be a long-term hold. I still got some Monero from that buy. It's up 100%, so that's cool. Get into the group, guys. The alpha does not fall often, but when it falls, it's valuable. It's valuable. I'm not a shill. I'm not an inside trader. I'm not just going to, give you a bunch of signals because you guys want signals. Everybody wants signals. I'm going to give you what I believe to be good risk to reward opportunities in the market. And I'm not going to get all of them. There's millions of coins. But I do feel that a lot of the projects that I bring to your attention, not always, nobody's perfect, but I do feel that a lot of the value that I bring to the group has been very beneficial. Some of them have done incredibly well. I shared publicly my best trade ever, which was NatCats. Shout out to Dunestack in the Discord for bringing that one to the group because that one was a banger. 2500x on NatCat. Anyways, Monero, like everything, we're getting that slight sign of rotation. Monero's cool. Monero is an easy narrative to get behind because a lot of what they say is true. But fundamentally, long term, A, I think Bitcoin will be better. And B, it does get much harder for you to download the blockchain for Monero because it has a huge problem with UTXO bloat. Because every transfer increases the UTXO size exponentially, they're going to run into node issues. But, so the future of Bitcoin is better for privacy and the future of Monero is more difficult. So, but today is a different story. So that's as fair and diplomatic as I can be. Today, they're great. Tomorrow, maybe not so great. Let's see how the ordinals are doing. Those have been doing horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So Ordi BTC, just a fucking joke, disgusting. It's got a lot of work to do. I mean, even just getting up to the resistance, it needs to rally 200%. It'll be interesting to see which ordinal is the leading ordinal. Let's take a look at Sats. Yeah, Sats is down 50% from the second call. It's still up 1,000% from the first call. But yeah, need a little bit more structure to take place here. This does no longer serves us. Track is another one. This one's at least got, why is my line like that? That doesn't make sense. That's not a good trend line. Let's make that a little bit better. Do we want to do that? Let's do that. Track fundamentally is doing some cool stuff, but the market just doesn't care about fundamentals right now. By the way, if you guys are tired of rugs and you want to buy meme coins, it's impossible to be rugged on the Bitcoin network. Liquidity pools are how people rug you, and Bitcoin doesn't have liquidity pools. So therefore, memes on Bitcoin are actually unruggable. I think that will be a narrative. I have a feeling that that is a potential narrative where, people get so fed up of all the bullshit, all the sniper bots, all the, the honey pots and the rug pulls on Solana, that somebody's going to one day listen to that and they'll be like, wait, what do you mean you can't get rugged on Bitcoin? And I think that can turn into a narrative where people realize that it's impossible to be rugged on Bitcoin because there's no liquidity pool. You can't rug something unless it has a liquidity pool. There's downsides to the liquidity pool as well, right? Like when you want to get out of a position and there's a liquidity pool available for you to get out of position, boom, one transaction, you can close the whole position. That's exactly how rugs work. They can just pull all the liquidity in one transaction. Bitcoin doesn't work that way. You have to find a seller. It's just like an order book, just like on centralized exchanges. It's the exact same as a centralized exchange. A buyer is matched with a seller. A seller is matched with a buyer. And therefore, it is harder to get out of positions. If you're in something illiquid, you will not get out of position very easily. If you're in something super liquid, super easy to get out. But you need the FOMO, you need the volume, you need the turnover for you to be able to get in and out of a position. But the benefit to that is it's unruggable. You can't rug. They literally, it's not, that feature is not part of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Pros and cons to everything. But ordinals still suck, so let's stop looking at them. How's the Ton chain doing? We haven't looked at that one in a while. Right back down to the floor. Let's see how that translates on the dollar pair. This is the Bitcoin pair. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. Yeah, this one's lost a lot of hype. Not sure why. I would have thought this one would do exceedingly well because there are so many Telegram users. I mean, if you're in crypto, you have a Telegram account. They must not have much of a valuable, they just must not have valuable products or not enough of a reason to buy the underlying asset. All right, do we want to revisit any on-chain stuff before we wrap things up here? We've been going for an hour. It's usually all I got in me. Short term. We actually didn't talk about Bitcoin short term. So what do we need? What do we need on the 4 hour? We've been in this stupid little chop. We do have an Adam and Eve potentially forming. So we've got our Adam and Eve pattern. That's our Adam. This is our Eve. Whoa. Oh, I can't draw. Let's try that again. Basically a V-shaped bottom paired up with a rounded bottom. So hopefully this Adam and Eve pattern continues. If we break below this, if we take out this low at 95, it invalidates the Adam and Eve pattern. But if we can continue to make a small uptrend here over the next couple of days, that will confirm the Adam and Eve pattern. And a breakout above 102 on the 4 hour chart. 102. If we can get above 102, that'll probably lead to a breakout. So getting above 102 will easily get us above 104. And that could have enough built up momentum for us to take out the current all-time high at 109. So what we want to see is just continuation of this trend. We want to just kind of bounce, reclaim the mean, kind of come up here, make a new high. That'll get some excitement. Then we'll get into the resistance, get a rejection, reclaim the resistance, and that'll be the catalyst. So this is what we're looking for. We currently have this Adam and Eve. We need to have this kind of slow trend to the upside here to confirm the Adam and Eve. If we fall out of it, we fall out of it. It's invalidated. Then it doesn't matter anymore. We're not going to talk about the Adam and Eve pattern. But it's holding for now. So that's what we need on the small term time frames, short term time frames. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll just oh, the weekly. We just had a weekly close. Let's go BTC USD. The index chart doesn't render the weekly very well for some reason. Below the 7, not great. Not what you want to see. The prior candle was a red doji. Doji means indecision. Red means slightly bearish. So a slightly bearish indecision. We need to reclaim that 7. So we need to get back above 97,866 by the end of this weekly candle for us to get some positive price action back into the market. So until that happens, more wait and see. More wait and see. All right. We will close things out there. Thank you all for joining into the live stream. If you guys haven't already created a Black Box account, just real quick, go to blackbox.pro. That is BLKBöX.pro. Sign up for your free Bitcoin trading bot today. As a result of getting one of those bots running, you get free access to the Discord. If you use any of our partner exchanges, you get free access to the Discord. But if you get one of the bots running, you also get free access to the Discord. We hope to see you in there. We offer a lot of value. We don't ask for any money. We want to keep incentives aligned. The better you do, the better we do. So yeah, thank you all for joining into the live stream. And until next time, please trade safe. It is jungle out there. Peace.